And of course, our African American brothers and sisters, descendants of our ancestors who survived the Maafa and like ashes rose to tell the tale, rose to live the tale, rose to strive, thrive, and survive. Our tenacity, our challenges, our courage needs to be studied, taught, and celebrated. We make way where there seem to be no way. And so as we celebrate you and share our light and spark all around the world, we the diasporans not only bring you ugali and skuma wiki, jollof rice and egusi, goat meat and pepper soup, gold and diamond, rubber and copper, timber and oil, tea and coffee, lions and zebras. We bring ourselves, our intellect, our courage, our bodies, our souls, and we stand shoulder to shoulder with our Western partners, unafraid, unapologetic, and courageous, knowing that we are the ones we've been waiting for. I say we, the diasporans, are the ones we've been waiting for. The spark that makes the Americas great, the diasporans. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. At this point, I'm gonna welcome our distinguished community leaders to come and give us some brief remarks. And I will start with Dr. Katherine Wangi. Welcome to the stage. Dr. Katherine is a globally known health leader with over 25 years in digital health. And we know her as the founder of mHealth Kenya. And she's also currently serving as a captain of Safari DC Golf. Karibu sana.
Thank you. So I'm going to start with a short story. I will maybe first start by acknowledging our guests, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, Professor Marwange, Senator Maora, and the rest of the Secretariat, all protocols observed. Good evening. The gentleman I'm going to talk about is also Fred, so I would like to mention that it is not the same Dr. Fred. So Fred is a Kenyan who came here a few years ago and worked in a home, not as a nanny, but took care of a house that was owned by a Mzungu called Macmillan. He would report at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the goal was for him to clean house, take care of the house, and make sure that everything, food and all that, was done. The man, Mr. Macmillan, was a businessman. He was not married and needed someone to just watch the house. So what happened is our dear Fred would report very early in the morning, make breakfast for the boss, and then the boss would leave. So what happened is one day, about an hour after the gentleman had left for work, he came back and found Fred watching TV with feet up, very comfortable. And he asked him, Fred, what happened? Are you done? And you know how Kenyans are, we are very animated. He did. For those who know, it means you're done. An hour into his work, he was done. Kenyans are resilient. We are hardworking. What happened is this guy worked himself out of a job. He was fired. But what he did is he realized, oh, I can do this. He went, registered a company, and ended up cleaning many homes every day and making a whole lot of money. Fred's story is not different from any of us. Kenyans come here, we work hard, we work 2-3 jobs, and then we go to school. Some of us are raising families, we are going to school, and I am no different than all of you sitting here. We all experience the same. Only after 15 years of being here, working hard, and thinking I have enough experience to go and make an impact in our country, I left and went to do what I was very passionate about, which was public health and tech. I went, in the beginning, worked as a country director for CDC Foundation, and then eventually registered my own company. I'm saying this because a lot of us who come here as experienced technocrats, we end up going home and we want to make a difference. But sometimes it's not easy. I went, registered a company, mHealth Kenya, during the time when I ran the company, I was able to bring enough money. As a principal investigator, we were able to bring a lot of grants. And by the time I was giving up, and I will explain, I was able to bring at least over $12 million in funding that went towards supporting HIV, AIDS, and also a little bit of COVID. What happens is that sometimes as a woman, it's tough. I stand here in high heels to make an impact, because at one point I felt that I needed to be 6 inches taller to be able to face my colleagues, to be able to fight, to be able to survive, and I did. I survived 12 years. During the period when we were implementing COVID, and for those of you who have lived in Kenya or traveled during the COVID time, you may have downloaded a QR code. Did anyone here travel beyond COVID and had to download a QR code at some point? If you did, that system was called Jitenge. Jitenge started off as our surveillance contact tracing system that was developed with only 2 cases of COVID. It was my innovation. I developed Jitenge, and after being a surveillance and contact tracing system, it extended to surveilling truck drivers, and it also ended up in the airline, managing airline. Prior to that, thank you. Prior to that, I worked in the HIV space. Out of the 1.3 million people living with HIV that were being managed or receiving care and treatment, 900,000 of those were being managed using systems that we had developed, my company had developed. During COVID, when we started doing the work, the system, I was no longer just working with the Ministry of Health. I had to work with the Ministry of Transport, and I had to work with the Ministry of ICT. And questions started coming. Huyu anakula hii pesa na nani? Why are you eating alone? And it became difficult to the point where my life was not safe. People wanted to know where I lived, who I ate the money with. We do go home passionate to make improvements. We want a better country. We want to make impact. I did come back, but I want to go back home because that's where my heart is. And I know I do not speak alone. I know there are many who have gone and come back. In fact, when I heard you had come back, I said, if Matiangi can come back, who am I? You know. So I'm here to say that a lot of us are passionate and we love our country. We want to see change. I was in Kenya the other day. When Sabasaba was happening, I had gone home to bury my mother-in-law. The challenges that we have, where we were burying my mother, the road was not passable. I needed to pay a grader. I wanted to pay for a grader because the government had not done the work. I was told that getting a grader required me talking to the MCA and maybe calling the governor. Somebody had to eat something for me to pay for a grader to come and fix the road to go bury my mother. When Sabasaba was happening, I spoke to a few young kids, and what they said is, we've lost hope. People are saying we are suicidal. We are not suicidal. I have gone to school, I've done my bachelor's, I have done my master's, and I'm still home. I start a business, I go and the city council clears my business. So what do? I'm not suicidal, but maybe my mom will be better off without me. It will be one more plate she does not have to cook. So the reason I am here is because of the same. I know you guys are sitting here because you want a better Kenya. I went to Kenya because I wanted a better Kenya. I was at one point about to apply for a position at Kenyatta Hospital. They needed a CEO. I thought I was qualified. And somebody told me, you have kids you're raising? Don't dare. It's not safe. We want a better Kenya. So anybody that's going to make our country better, we will be right there. I was in Kenya during your tenure, during the time that you were working. I know your work ethic. I know what you've done. I saw you. I was there during the Matiang'i A. I was there when you were improving lands. We are victims of land grabbing. My mother is a widow and she has lost land. And I know you played a big role in making sure that a lot of people got their title deeds. So if your mission, if you can make Kenya the same as you did when you did all those other ministries, and if we can come together, all of us, with every little thing that we have learned, all the skills we have learned, if we were all to be given an opportunity to go and make that kind of impact, I know we will have a better Kenya. But do we have that environment? And who is going to create that environment? So my challenge to you is, how do you convince? What will you tell us that's going to be different? What are you going to do for us that is not been repeated before? What are you going to tell our youth who have masters, 2, 3, they keep going to school hoping that maybe the next degree is going to get them a job? You know, how are we going to feel that this is going to be different? You have a lot of work. You may have a lot of people supporting you, but I think I will want, like everybody else, and all our Gen Zs who are here, we would want to know what's going to be different. And my challenge to you is also, you've worked in the government, you know how it worked. What lessons have you learned that you can impact this time so that it may be different? And you know that if you do it, we will be right behind you. I want a better Kenya. I know you want a better Kenya. We all want a better Kenya. How do we know the best way to follow you that is going to be different from what other politicians have told us? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Katherine. I think everybody in this room agrees we want a better Kenya. My next speaker on stage will be Dr. Helen Ogalo. Dr. Helen Ogalo is an engineer with the Maryland Department of Transport. He also serves as a professor at the University of Maryland. Karibu, Daktari.
Thank you for coming here, and I welcome our guests, although some have left. Dr. Maronga, it's good to see you again after a long time. I'm here to speak about what I do, what I've done for some time now, about 20 years. I work for the state, and my area of emphasis is traffic control design. I don't know how many people know here that if you just go and pave a road and you don't put those signs, you don't put those pavement on the road, it's not a road. Because a road that cannot control how traffic use it is not really a road, and that is the emphasis of what I do. My concern, which has been troubling me a lot, first of all, is equity and inclusion in the provision of roads in Kenya. You look at some areas, you find that they are really well equipped in terms of the network of roads. But you go to other places, you have to walk long distances to get to a place where there's a road that you can use. So at one time, I'm also a member of engineers, professional engineers in Kenya. So I presented a paper at one of the conferences, and I mentioned this concerning the roads. And one of the things that I did was to look at, let's say, the population density and compare with the percentage of mileage of roads that were in those areas. And when you look at that, you find that there's a lot of inequity in that. For example, I want to just give one example here that might be useful for us. If you compare, for example, Kirinyaga County and Murang'a County, the population density is 413, that is for Kirinyaga, and 419, that is for Murang'a. But the percentage of the road network in Kirinyaga is 1.4. That is taking the network of the roads in Kirinyaga compared to the total network or the total mileage that is there. It's only 1.4%. But Murang'a has 2.4. So you can see there is a difference there. Yet their population density is about the same. I compared also Kiambu and Kisii. The population density in Kisii is in Kiambu is 952, and that one in Kisii is 958. But the network in Kisii is 1.4%, while the network in Kiambu is 3.4. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that we know what road does. If somebody is sick and you want to take this person to the hospital and the network is not good, there's a very likelihood that this person might end up dying just because he could not be taken to the hospital in time. So for us to be in a position where we can distribute what the government is providing, then it means that there should be some equity in the way these amenities are provided. And my hope, Daktari, is that when you reach that stage, which I know you are going to be there, then this will be taken into account. Because a person who is sick in Kisii is not better than a person who is sick in Lokichogwe or somewhere there. So we want to be able to provide, as a government, to provide for everybody who is there to make sure that they can be given equal provisions. The other area of my concern is traffic fatalities. That is one of the things that I also do. Here in Maryland, for example, I looked at another statistics which can help us to understand what I'm talking about. We find that the number of vehicles, the total number of vehicles that are in Maryland is about 5 million. That one is, I'm looking at the statistic called 2022. Also, the number of vehicles in Kenya about that time is about 4.5 million. Yet the number of fatalities in Kenya is about 4,000 compared to 500, about 500 and something in Maryland. You remember that people who are involved in fatalities are majority progressive, rich, people who have some money. And in the end, we are losing a lot of people like that who could be enhancing the development through those. My thought is that this should be a focus for the government, that funds be made available, and not only funds, but programs be put in place that can allow these fatalities to be reduced. Even if they can be reduced by a half, that would be something that would be helpful. So it is my hope that when you get there, these are issues that will be looked into. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Asante sana. Next on stage, I'm going to welcome Joseph Nyakundi Mecha. It's my honor to introduce him. We all know him as a community leader here. He's very well respected. He's the CEO of Mecha Financial Group and a seasoned financial expert with nearly 20 years of experience, recognized as a member of the $1 Million Round Table and a certified financial fiduciary. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Joseph Mecha. Karibu sana.
Good evening, everyone. Matiangi he? Matiangi ha? Arambe! Arambe! Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, distinguished guests, the sixth, Dr. Fred Okengo Matiangi. You know, I said in some forum yesterday that I already bought champagne. I'm ready to pop that 2027. My name is Joseph Nyakundi Mecha, a proud son of Kenya, a husband, a father, a business leader, and a committed community organizer in the DMV area. So tonight, I rise not only with pride, but with purpose. As a Kenyan, or as Kenyans in the diaspora, we know the price of progress. Personally, I came to this country, I immigrated to this country in the year 2000. You know, you remember those, except the Gen Zs, it was during the Kanu era. You know what that meant. Our country, Kenya, is sliding to those dark times. We have built in this country, we have struggled, we have persevered. And like many back home, we yearn for leadership that reflects the values we hold dear. Integrity, discipline, vision, and results. Dr. Fred, I've watched him. Personally, I went to school in Kenya. I went to Moi University. I was a teacher at Kisumu Boys High School. From there, I became an education officer in Vihiga district before relocating here. Dr. Matiangi became Minister for Education. As an education officer, it was difficult to even transfer teachers. When he started the delocalization policy, most of the teachers, everybody thought it will not work. But guess what? It worked. That's why I stand before you this evening to wholeheartedly endorse the sixth, Dr. Fred Okengo Matiangi, as the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Dr. Matiangi is not a stranger to results. He's a man of action. The Ministry of Education, you go to Kenya these days, school buses are painted yellow. Yes. The only minister I remember who took action and people respected those actions is John Mishuki, right? Remember John Mishuki? Yes. He brought order to the Ministry of Education. He delivered digital transformation in ICT. These days we have in Kenya content creators everywhere, right? Because of him. He restored confidence in our internal security systems. I remember when he was Minister for Interior, there were We couldn't hear of terrorist attacks in Kenya. He fought corruption, not with words, but with systems, with laws, and with fearless execution. He's a leader who believes in service, not self-interest. A public servant who shows up early, works late, and delivers every time. I was watching some of the clips. Dr. Matiangi would show up. I think I saw somewhere, he showed up somewhere in Kurueni at 5 in the morning. People were fighting. Some people were fighting over land. They couldn't get even title deeds. But he was able to fix that problem. As a community leader in the diaspora, I can say without hesitation, Kenya needs him now more than ever. We are tired of recycled politics. We are tired of empty promises. We are tired of impunity. You can see what is happening in Kenya. Young people. Recently, somebody says, shoot them in the leg. As if Kenya does not have a constitution. We are a constitutional democracy. We are tired of empty promises. We are tired of impunity. We are ready for a Kenya that works, for the mama mboga, the graduate hustling for opportunity, the farmer seeking fair markets, and the diaspora longing to invest with confidence. Dr. Matiangi is not a perfect man, but he is proven. He doesn't seek power for power's sake. He seeks to restore dignity to leadership and hope to our people. So tonight, I ask you to do more than listen. I ask you to engage. I ask you to stand with courage. I ask you to believe again. Let's believe in our motherland. Let's believe in Kenya. Let us organize. Let us mobilize and make sure we go home, campaign. Let us activate our networks. Let us support this campaign. In the diaspora, we need to speak with one voice. Let's bring home leadership that delivers. Dr. Matiangi is ready. So we are. Thank you, and God bless Kenya.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Today I've learned one thing. Ukisema harambe, tunasema? Thank you, Mecha. Thank you so much. On stage, I'm going to welcome my co-host again, Karanja Maura, who's an educator and long-term community leader in Baltimore. We all know that in 2022, he made history by running for Senate, elevating the visibility of Kenyan American community in Maryland politics. I think he's the best person to welcome tonight, our keynote speaker. Karibu sana Bwana Maura.
It's my honor. My big honor. A lot has been said. Today is not about me. Today is about the future of Kenya. We are at crossroads right now. And with no further ado, I'm going to take this moment to ask you to give a hard applause as I invite Dr. Fred Matiangi.
Thank you very much indeed. Good evening. I elected to speak from here, and I told the organizers to indulge me because proximity is very important. I want to be close to you as I engage with you. First of all, allow me to take this opportunity to thank the Lord for all of you wonderful people, especially the leaders of this DMV area, We had a meeting last night and had some dinner. I had an opportunity to listen to quite a number of you, and because we have been interacting, many of you have become very close friends, and we are always engaging. I will